unprecedented bottom of the 420th inning. So there's a crack in the bat. It's hit. He's running. He's rounding first. He's rounding second, completely ignoring third base. Oh, he's sliding head first into 69th base with Doug Mellard.
What up? Welcome to 69th Base. This is the podcast where I take all of Skip Bayless's worst takes and shit all over them. It's going to be great. I'm your host, Doug Mellard. Get ready. We got a fun show. We're going to talk about the Cowboys-Patriots game, of course, and what Skip thought all about that. I bet it wasn't anything too smart. Also going to talk about Skip's fear of Tom Brady declining. We're going to discuss one of the worst Skip jokes of all time. More on Skip's bizarre obsession of Lil Wayne. And we start a new rumor and much more. So get ready. And before we jump in, I always kind of talk about this at the end of the podcast, but sometimes people, I know you're like maybe at work, you're not really, you kind of zone out towards the end sometimes. Everybody's guilty of that. Or just in general in life, you just kind of zone out. We all do it. So up top, I'm going to tell you, please rate, review, subscribe. You have no idea how much that helps spread the word, so it takes like 5 seconds. Just give it a whirl. It really helps. Let's keep growing this. Also, big thank you to everybody that came out to see Dan Cummins this past weekend in Grand Rapids. You guys were so fun, and consequentially, thanks to all the new listeners from that group. I already got some good feedback from some of you guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for... I know you were drinking a lot at those shows, some of you, and I plugged it. You guys really laughed at the Skip rumors at the end, and then I would sometimes hand out flyers for like, hey, come find my podcast. But I know a lot of people are wasted, and, you know, you're going to lose that piece of paper or just completely black out and forget that whole night happened. So those of you that waded through all that, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Nice to have you in there, 69ers. Yeah, very fun weekend. Grand Rapids, thumbs up. That was a great time. And before we get into like the real meat of the podcast, guys, okay. You guys know Rosie O'Donnell, right? Picture Rosie O'Donnell, okay? All right, get everything about her. Now, imagine she's eaten 50 meatball Hot Pockets. And then finish it off with a foot-long chili dog and washed it down with a nice bucket of clam chowder with a straw. Now, picture what's going to happen after that. Her monster growler of a shit just pouring out of her. Just so much shit. Guys, I would rather Rosie O'Donnell shit in my mouth with all of that has just happened to her than to hang out with Skip Bayless for 40 seconds. I think that's very fair. All right, so let's get into it. Guys, I've been running around. Thanks for listening to last week's episode that was a solo. Mikey's back on this one. Welcome, Mikey. Hey, buddy.
Hello there.
It's like I was just not paying attention to you for the last like 2 minutes.
It's going to be a kind of odd day today.
Yeah, I heard.
For me at least.
I heard you got really high last night.
I've grown unaccustomed to smoking weed. Last night I smoked a lot of weed, and that was more than 12 hours ago, and I still feel the weed in my system, just dragging down my brain.
Are you still high?
I think so.
Your mom listens to this sometime? Does she care if you smoke pot?
I actually told her on the way over here. I was like, Mom, I smoked weed last night for the first time in a while. And I still feel it.
Isn't it weird, like, as an adult to, like...
She's like, just smoke more. That's what I do.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's weird as an adult, though, you still hide certain things from your parents. And you're like...
Yeah,
you shouldn't ever have to do that.
I mean, a couple of weeks ago on the podcast, I talked about my childhood computer chair. My mom still doesn't know that story, so I'm hoping she doesn't.
Oh, I forgot about that. The chair covered in cum.
Yeah.
If you missed that story, you're gonna want to get in there. Mikey talking about coming on a chair in his pubescent years, and me fucking
I'm glad you
pillow.
put in pubescent.
Yeah.
Because otherwise,
It
the
was.
story would have changed a whole lot.
Well, dude, look at my couch you're sitting on. It's whoa, so much cum.
I thought this was a plastic cover.
Yeah, no, that's all cum. It's all my hard, crisp cum.
You're like one of those like birds that make their nests with their own mucus, except you use your cum.
Oh man, what a classy group we are.
Yeah. Let's go get some chili dogs.
Yeah, I'm down. So the story I want to share this week with you guys, I don't know if you know this one, Mikey. I maybe have told you because you've seen what I'm going to discuss, but I don't know if I told
This could really go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, so Flynn and I got married a year and a half ago. We were engaged for a year, so a couple Junes back, I guess.
Just a few short Junes ago.
Yeah, it's not long ago. I was nervous. I won't go into the details of all that, but it was weird to be a comic and like to still get. I didn't think I'd be nervous about it, and then I got super nervous. It was really weird. It's like,
were you nervous about like the actual marriage, or were you nervous about like standing up in front of people?
it was
Like,
just,
what were you
just
nervous
asking the question and wanting to get
Okay.
it right because it feels like this once in a lifetime moment.
Yeah.
I was like, it was crazy. Anyway, it was just weird because it's like, what's wrong with
Did
me?
you do anything sappy?
Not really. I actually I crept it in.
You crapped it on.
No, I put a ring in
You
my
ate it
crap.
3 days
I,
before.
Yeah, I shit it out. And I was like, "Hey, honey, got a scavenger hunt for you." No, I had heard a lot of people kind of almost basically black out when they not black out, but they don't remember
Yeah.
the actual proposal because of all the energy and adrenaline and stuff on both sides.
Yeah.
So I started peppering her with compliments and like stuff that you would say right before, but I was kind of just sprinkling it in slowly.
Yeah.
So that she didn't, because once you start saying it all together, they know it's coming.
Yeah.
So I was slowly peppering all these compliments into her. She's like, "Oh, that's nice. That's nice. He's saying that too. Boy, that's nice too." And then it finally, she's like, "Oh, fuck." You know, I
Yeah.
got down on one knee. Anyway, we go back up to her parents. It was like right by her parents' house, and we walk up in Santa Fe, and we go to say hi to her parents. That they knew this was all going down. They knew like right then. They actually watched from these bushes
Yeah.
as I did it, and I knew that, so it made me more nervous for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go up
They
there.
watched from some
yeah,
bushes.
Yeah, from some bushes like 50 yards away. It
Like
was-
fucking spies.
yeah. And they didn't tell me, so like I just see a head pop out and I'm like already nervous and I'm like, oh, now I have an audience. But it was real cute. It was really sweet.
You see a head pop out.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug. Just letting you know we're back here. Good luck, buddy.
And but it was real cute. They were just excited. It was nice. And so I go back up and we're celebrating, and you're still kind of like in this weird zone where you're just kind of hyped up, and like her brother, who's like a very nice guy, he's a maniac. He's got some of the
Bodybuilder,
funniest
right?
stories. But he's a very generous gift giver and such. Very good dude. He hands us this big box, this very big box, and we're like, "Oh my God." And I just couldn't believe that. I wasn't even thinking of anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave us this heartfelt congrats, and then like hands us this big wrapped box. It looks professionally wrapped, all that. And we're just so excited, and we're in that zone. We're not expecting what's coming next. Oh, I should probably back up just a second. My first Christmas with their parents at their home in Santa Fe, I was sitting there, and anytime I would open a gift from them,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, "Hey guys, check this is from you." So they to like, "Hey,
Show that I have received it.
yes, I
And
got
here
it,"
is
and
my
then like,
thanks.
"Oh my God," and they're the best too. They always nail it, and they're so sweet. They're all so nice. And I open it.
Are they going to be listening out there?
No, and I open it, and it's this giant dildo.
Oh.
And I like kind of look at it like, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
then I immediately put it together. Oh, Flynn's brother did this. And then of course he's just fucking half bent over, cracking up. And then we all laugh. Her parents are hysterical. They
Yeah.
were cracking up at it. So we all
How
have
big we talking?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen it. It's like, oh man, foot and a half.
I'm
It's
getting
that
it
giant-
confused. I was actually in the market for a giant dildo recently for a gag gift for a friend.
Oh, you could have borrowed ours,
was
yeah.
it a drill? Is it a dildo?
No. So I'm. Oh no, that's coming though. So
Yeah. Is
you
it-
you blew the next one. No. So he gives me that, and then then I guess he wanted to step up his game. So then for the engagement, we've got this big box. We're just like, we're not thinking, oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a dildo.
Yeah.
But it was a dildo, which if you don't know what that is, think of those two words, and yep, that it looks like an actual Black and Decker
like
drill,
hand drill.
but then it just has this giant dick on the end.
Yeah.
And it comes with safety goggles and a vest and like a little helmet and like the whole thing. And
I think we should. Sorry, keep going. I'll
no,
get
so
this thought.
so we get this gift. We're all cracking up and it really like when you press the button, the trigger, it like spins
Thing
at a high.
gets floppy too, right?
Yeah. And well, it can, I guess. This thing's pretty sturdy though. It's it's no fucking around. And well, I guess it's a lot of fucking around technically, but then it also has underneath it, whenever you press the trigger, there's a light that comes on. So that's important
Little
because
inspector light.
yeah, and so for deep cavernous vaginas.
Yeah.
So we we're that night we're leaving, like, so our parents have this like little guest house. It's about 50 yards down this road.
Mm-hmm.
But at night in Santa Fe, there can be bears, bobcats, mountain lions,
All the good
coyotes,
stuff.
all that stuff. So it's pitch black, and we're like, oh, we got to get a flashlight to walk, and we're thinking like, we can't find a flashlight, and we've been drinking and celebrating, and then we're like, oh, the dildo. So we take the dildo, and we go on this walk, and whenever we press the little button,
You get the light.
we get the light. The light casts this giant, like 30-foot dick. Like it was like the bat signal, but with a giant cock
Yeah.
over the road. And so just ahead of us is this giant dick.
Pilots are like flying above you, like.
Oh my god, that's amazing. And then sure enough, the one time we see a bear, there's a bear right there, and we dildoed it to death.
Yeah.
We just got in there.
You just fucked it in the ass.
Yep. Well, actually, we didn't kill it. It actually really enjoyed it. We became friends, and now he lives with my in-laws. So we're gonna be there in a few days for Thanksgiving, and
It's like a sexual Paddington situation.
yeah. We actually, his name's actually Patty. So get ready, Patty. We're coming for you.
So I was thinking about it. Dildos, I think we should corner the market on the next step of the
Okay.
evolution. We make a jackhammer
Oh my
dildo.
god.
But what do we call it? I mean, jackhammer. Like, how do you? Like, that's good enough, right?
Yeah, that's already there. I think.
I think we
really.
just get some crazy font, you know, like the jackhammer.
Oh god. Get ready to get jacked off.
Get your pussy pounded.
Oh man, I'm excited about this. Patent pending. Well, Mikey, let's get into some sports talk. Enough dildo talk.
I thought we have been talking about sports.
Speaking of dildos, let's talk about Skip Bayless. Oh man.
Yeah, they were made out of leather.
So the Cowboys and Patriots played, and I was looking forward to this game for many reasons. One, hey, let's see what the Cowboys, what are they as a team, because we can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've beaten any teams above 500. This will be
The
a
Jets are getting up there.
Yeah.
The Jets are almost 500. Right?
Yeah, they've gotten a little bit better. They've been putting up points. So I'm getting excited. This will be a barometer of what we really are as a team. And on top of that, I was just looking forward to it because this is a lose-lose for Skip Bayless, because so many things have to happen correctly for him to feel like it all went well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Tom Brady doesn't play well,
It's like
it's a
Tom
loss.
Brady gets 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, but Dak gets like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. And he's been shitting all over Zeke, so Zeke would also have to have a bad game.
Yeah.
So like so many things have to come into place. And then so he picks the Patriots, which is a pretty safe bet. I assume they were going to win. And not only that, but he really hedged his bet. This is awful, man. This is such a fucking dick move. On Twitter, he said, "I picked the Patriots simply because I do not bet against Brady at home. but I am rooting for the Dallas Cowboys I've rooted for since I attended my first Cowboys game at age 10 at the Cotton Bowl versus the St. Louis Cardinals. Dating yourself much? But yeah, so he just sets it up to where, like, I win no matter what. And it's like, no, you're going to fucking be furious either way, and you're just not going to show it. So, being a shitbag as per usual. And so I was excited because I knew he's going to be frustrated in some way no matter what. And I know that he was, but and he was frustrated with the team, but
his marriage, everything.
Yeah, everything.
His sex life.
Everything. And what actually happened on top of that, Dak, nobody could really play well because the ball was wet. It was shitty weather. So then it also
was
feels
low, high 40s, low 50s, right?
I don't know what the temperature was, but
yeah,
it
looked cold out there.
Yeah, it was cold and sloppy, and it was just a weird. We still don't know if it were dry weather. We'd maybe have a better barometer, but this was just a shitty football game.
Yeah.
So it's boring, and we still don't know who the fuck the Cowboys are. Actually, we do, because they made a lot of mistakes, and that's who they are.
Jerry Jones is letting the people know.
Oh yeah, I love that. It's about fucking time. And you made the point before we got on, where it was go ahead.
I mean, I like that when they lose to the Patriots, the best team, the best dynasty ever.
Yeah,
he gets angry, but when they lose to the Jets, he's just silent.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
It's just development at that point, you know.
Yeah, good God, you should have fucking fired Garrett after the Jets game, you dummy. So, he just says, Dak, was fine enough, passes blame to everything else. He said it was a wet ball, and he said not only is it a wet ball, but on Fox during the broadcast, Hall of Famer Troy Aikman, who hates Skip Bayless, said that when he was in his heyday playing football for the Dallas Cowboys, he used to, oh man,
Ooh.
He used to fart a lot.
Ooh.
He used
Got
to.
him.
That was my impression of Skip Bayless. Zing! When he was playing football, I hope my in-laws aren't listening to this. When he was playing football,
I'm gonna send it to him. I'm gonna track them down right before. Listen to this an hour before Thanksgiving dinner.
Whenever there was a rainy game coming, if there was bad weather, Troy Aikman said he couldn't sleep at night because he was so bad during weather games, rainy games particularly. And so Skip Bayless was like, they played that audio, and then he goes, see, game over. I was like, what does that have to do with Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
Also, Tom Brady also had wet conditions. I know that's his home field, and he's maybe played in that condition more, but I think
if anything, it's a worse situation for them because they don't have the ground game that Dallas could have.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and Zeke was running well. I still don't understand why they didn't just let him take it over. He also blamed it on the tripping call. It was just excuse after excuse, as always. And look, the tripping call I did think was complete horseshit. That was total horseshit. I didn't understand. I like that Troy Aikman got very upset about it. But I'm not one of those fans where it's like, hey, the game was lost because of that call. And it was the final, real drive. But, we had a million opportunities to win that game, and we didn't.
Yeah.
And, we had chances to put them away.
I never really like when people blame a shitty series of events on the last turnover for the whole game.
The one instance where I get it is that New Orleans Vikings game last year,
that was pretty rough.
2 years ago, whatever. Yeah, that was brutal. But outside of, because that seemed like for sure. But even still, again, you have other opportunities.
Also, the Green Bay Cowboys game.
Oh yeah,
in the playoffs.
the Dez thing. Yeah. But with all those, same thing. You had other opportunities. It doesn't come down to one fucking play. Quit your bitching. But there was unfortunately. So I was on my plane when I started the game, and then LAX has this new lift system that takes a bit to figure out. And then by the time I finally got in my lift, which is almost an hour back to the place, my reception wasn't great, so I missed some chunks of the game, and apparently there was some timeout snafu or field goal indecision argument. It's something people are arguing about. I've still not even been able to.
Why'd you miss part of the game?
Because I suck. On top of everything else, he blamed Amari Cooper, who was shut down by Gilmore, which Man, you can't blame. Like, he had a bad game, but also everybody kind of did. And you're gonna shit all over the guy that has made Dak. You
Yeah.
know who at least the best version of Dak so far.
I mean, Amari's transformation after moving from the Raiders to the Cowboys is insane. Like,
Yeah,
I wasn't even. I was very hesitant to
sure.
commit
Yeah,
to him on the Raiders because he
Yeah.
dropped so many balls.
Yeah.
He was so inconsistent.
yeah. I didn't like the trade initially. I was like, oh, what a horrible trade. But wow, he's lit it up with and he's built up Amari as like a savior ever since. So he had one fucking bad game. Go fuck yourself. It was a wet, shitty condition.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he was talking about how Zeke was having a good game after he shit on him all week. So there's that.
He threw his jersey away in such a dramatic fashion.
Yeah, well, he already did that.
That was 2
so
weeks
he's
ago,
not.
isn't it?
Yeah, he's not picking that up anytime soon. But yeah, it's just he has it. He talks out of both sides of his mouth all the fucking time. But another thing that happened, Skip Bayless, after N'Keal Harry caught that pretty awesome touchdown, he just talked up N'Keal Harry on Twitter, and it's like, you shit on him this whole year, and now, or since he got off IR or whatever,
Yeah.
and now he has one catch, and you're like, oh man, way to go, buddy.
The greatest I've ever seen.
Yeah. So, real good analyst, this guy. And, tied in with all this, Skip has a palpable growing fear of Tom Brady declining. And it's Shannon and other people pointing it out. But Skip is definitely, like, you can hear it, the fear in his voice when he talks about it now. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about it last week. Is he declining? And
His voice starts getting really loud like
yes,
this.
anytime he knows he's losing, he starts screaming.
Yeah.
And he's always screaming on a level, but it screams at like this whole other level.
High-pitched screams.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like he's about to cry.
Like he's squealing.
Yeah, and so when they were discussing it, Skip Bayless said that Tom Brady can beat Father Time, because Shannon said nobody can beat Father Time, and he was like, just like a child, like, yes, he can.
On this show, I want to say that Tom Brady will be the first human to ever live for eternity and not decline physically.
Yeah, he literally thinks he's immortal, which is also just him talking to himself about it. Like, if
Yeah.
Tom Brady can do it, I can live forever.
I can beat death.
Because I'm 800 years older than Tom Brady. And so during that discussion, Skip Bayless says, Shannon asked him, well, can you like run as fast as you could when you were in your 20s? Because Skip likes to run. That's like his sport of choice.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, almost as fast.
Mm-hmm.
So Skip at almost 70 thinks he can run as fast as Skip at almost 20.
Yeah.
I would love to see, like when they sometimes during the combine, they'll do like a side by side of 40 times of people
Yeah.
with like a fake thing, like a little ghost almost. I would love to see Skip versus himself from 50 years ago and watch him and react to like, oh my God, I'm old.
I always think about those situations like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure had a huge impact on my life, and I'm always like,
I love that. We
I was
haven't
like,
talked about
I
that.
wish I could take people back in time and like just prove them wrong on certain things, and that would work perfect. Just throw Skip in a time machine.
Yeah.
To raise his younger self.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you excited about Bill and Ted 3?
Yeah, I've been waiting for like a trailer or something.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be soon. Isn't it this summer?
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. I
Holy
think so.
shit, we're close. I am very excited. I love this Keanu fucking blow up.
Yeah. Except I did feel like a more personal connection with him before everyone else was like loving him,
Yeah.
Back when I used to defend him, I was like, I know Keanu. His heart is my own.
Dude, I dressed as Ted at the opening day of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
I dressed as Ted
Really?
Theodore Logan.
When was
so
that?
ridiculous.
That was
like 92 or
yeah.
something. I was so fucking excited, as I am now. So I'm with you, man. Also, you back to the ADD day. So he's talking about he's just as fast as he used to be. He right then and there once again challenges Shannon Sharp, Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp, to an 8-mile race. I love that it has to be an 8-mile because he knows a sprint, which I think would be the judge of what
and
you
Skip's
are.
like what 5'6", like built like a fucking long distance runner.
Yeah,
of course 6'6" Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, he's a bodybuilder basically.
Yeah,
you're built differently.
Yeah,
but Skip would probably argue that well, I'm as big as I think in his head he's as big or bigger than Shannon Sharp. I think he hates it when guests come on. You've been lifting, Shannon. Like, why isn't he talking about me?
All of his house is just full of like funhouse mirrors.
Yeah,
and he looks at himself. He's 8 feet tall,
and you can see his micro penis somehow.
Yeah,
makes
it's
it
like the
appear.
bend in the mirror is right there. It says dick's like 14 inches long.
On top of everything else, I saw an article on ESPN.com that was talking about Brady was quoted, and he was kind of joking around. He grew up in California, so he was a Niners fan growing up. So he said...
He grew up near Berkeley, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That he has disliked the Cowboys since coming out of the womb. And I thought about Skip Bayless reading that and was just like, what would that reaction be? Because he loves Tom Brady, but he loves the Cowboys. So shouldn't he hate Tom Brady?
I feel like with things like that, Skip probably just he just banishes them from his mind immediately.
Right.
And he never remembers them. He's like, I shall not dwell on that fact. And that fact shall no longer be.
God, you're absolutely right. I feel like those are people that just never, and we've talked about that with him, where it's like you never evolve as a human because you're just lying to yourself all the time.
Yeah.
So, when something bad comes along, you have to just shut it out.
Yeah.
Like inevitably when the Cowboys drop out this year, whether it's before the playoffs or after, he's just going to forget that ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this whole season since day one, I basically predicted all of this where I think at the beginning, I predicted them to win the division, I think, but I was very non-committal because I thought this season would be exactly what it is, where I was saying, I just don't trust Garrett and all that. And here we are.
What's their record?
They're 6-5. So we're right back. I don't know. This is exactly kind of the Jekyll and Hyde shit.
Heckle and Jive.
Jekyll and Hyde that I assumed we were going to be on like basically every year since 95. It's insane. I feel like I was almost non-committal and down the middle because it's like, I don't know. I said, I think we have a Super Bowl caliber team, which a lot of people still say.
For the
but
last
it's
15 years.
Yeah, but there's definitely a lot of bad Quincy Carter and all that shit.
Well, like since the Tony Romo era.
Yeah. And like we have a Super Bowl caliber team, but we don't have the coaching staff, and we have a million problems, and we always fuck up somehow. And here we are.
Right when you get on a good pass, somebody gets injured.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is... So, I wasn't trying to be on the fence and like hedge bets. It was just I don't trust them, and they're proving me right. And then meanwhile, Skip Bayless just since day one, they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm like, okay, buddy, you fucking deal with it. And, hey, surprise me, guys. Get there. It just takes getting hot at the right time.
He's one of those blind fans.
Yeah. God, you know what they should do is fucking fire Garrett and whatever. Promote Kellen Moore. I don't care, but
I don't understand why there hasn't been a shakedown there, 4 years ago.
Right.
3 years ago.
Yeah, like just I mean there should have been, but we're never gonna get a good coach as long as Jerry's alive. You gotta have a yes man. So Garrett's probably the best yes man there is, but there's no motivation there, Mr. All clap all the time. Piece of shit. Anywho, oh man, this is ridiculous. My favorite, Aaron Rodgers did not play well last night.
Rough night for him.
Yeah, but it did lead to my favorite, worst Skip Bayless joke of all time. Skip Bayless said,
Jesus Christ, that one was gross. That one was just...
Great timing, though.
Oh.
Good God. I can smell it in the foam of the mic.
We need to start labeling these mics so I don't use that one next time. You need to have a fart mic and a guest mic.
It woke Penny up, too. She, lifted her head up.
She's like, come on, dude.
If you didn't understand that, Skip Bayless said, they were talking about Aaron Rodgers, and I think the stat was that he was 0 for 13 on third down, which is not good.
Yeah, that's just about the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's like a postseason game in basketball going 0 for 26 from beyond the three.
But I will say Tom Brady's his guy. I would like to see Tom Brady at this age against that Niners defense. That would be interesting. Because the Niners D does look pretty fucking good. But Aaron Rodgers, 0 for 13. Skip Bayless says Aaron Rodgers is more like Mr. Rogers. And then like no one laughs and he just goes, Mr. Rogers. He repeats it. You know, it's a great punchline when you have to repeat the fucking punchline. And then he says, yeah, the Mr. Rogers movie's coming out soon. And then after that, they're both talking about it.
They're talking about something totally they're beyond that at this point.
And then Skip says, I had to get that plug in for Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
As if they're friends and as if Tom needs his help. And as if you want Skip Bayless to promote anything that you do.
I feel like Skip Bayless would have been drawn to the movie Castaway. He would have been like, that is me in the world that I live in. Just a castaway in society, just talking to my pet football.
I am on an island alone, just me and
an
nobody
island
else.
of perfection.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's
with me and Tom Brady.
It's also a mirror to his marriage, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like. They also had Lil Wayne on again. I was at my hotel, I think it was Friday. Maybe they had Lil Wayne, which is probably a contractual thing because he wrote the song. And Skip, you know, is just more and more obsessed with him because he got that chain and people started calling him Drip Bayless. And he thinks he's really cool.
I think Lil Wayne had a stroke from promethazine since then, so him and Skip are probably more kind of mentally on the same page now.
I think I'm gonna have to ask Flynn, but Flynn might have partied with Lil Wayne once, and she said he was really nice. I have nothing against Lil Wayne. I like Lil Wayne, but his voice is so beat up from, I'm guessing, yelling, that's him outside. He's very angry.
he's actually biting the trash can outside, just really hard.
That's why his voice is so messed up. So when he comes on, he knows his sports. But it's so weird. His voice is so deep and so like cracked and destroyed.
Yeah,
but it's also so quiet. So when he comes on, he's just like Green Bay, and he loves Green Bay.
Yeah.
So they're talking about sports, and I'm just like kind of tuning it out because it
means nothing to you.
Yeah, well, it's just not a good interview. You know, there are people that are like Lil Wayne's fine. He's great. I like Lil Wayne, but I wish he didn't accidentally empower this fucking maniac Skip Bayless. But but you know, you can be like a great entertainer but also be a shitty interview. Like it happens. And you know, he goes on, he's just doing like for 20 minutes. And then I hear Skip Bayless at one point, I've kind of zoned out, and I just hear Skip say, when Lil Wayne speaks, I listen. And I was like, oh my God, what are you talking about?
Skip in his own mind is just frantically like, what can I say to make it seem like I've been listening to this whole thing when in reality I don't understand a word he's fucking saying.
And he's my best friend, so I have to say this.
It's perfect.
And it's just also like, you know, meanwhile, a Hall of Fame football player sits across from him every day and says, you're wrong. Doesn't listen to that guy who knows football better than anyone.
Yeah.
And then Lil Wayne comes on. Lil Wayne knows his shit. That guy who's never, you know, he's definitely on it all the time.
That guy,
of the time.
the mean guitarist. Yeah. Have you seen those videos of him playing guitar?
No. I'll check it out.
Oh, man. Y'all all check that out. It's really bad.
Hell yeah.
Really funny stuff.
Meanwhile, the Skip's hatred for LeBron runs deep. He won't give LeBron any credit since he's gone. He's never, but
they're
especially
having
now
a great season.
Yeah, they're kicking ass, and he's just, oh, you got another triple double, or what was he first?
I saw a tweet the other day that was like about the Lakers. He's like, AD carrying LeBron, getting 4 consecutive free throw shots in the last like 6 minutes of the game for the win. LeBron still had like 24, 6, and 9.
Oh my God!
And Anthony Davis had like maybe I think 31. And he had 4 free throws in the last 6 minutes of the game, but I don't think that's the reason they
Wow. Good Lord.
Yeah.
But yeah, because he's been shitting on him and he's been propping up Kawhi Leonard, who he had given up on just a year ago, for over a year. Because he's doing that and he's propping up Kawhi again, the LA Clippers sent Skip a Clippers jersey or whatever, and he showed it off on air. and he thinks he's so cool, and that just shows me why the Clippers will never be a winning organization.
Yeah,
that's why they fail.
With fans like him.
Yeah, like
who needs fans?
Like if they're deciding, hey, Skip's been talking about us, let's let him show off a jersey. That'll get the young kids out here and get behind us. That'll
sell some jerseys.
Yeah, that'll sell some tickets and jerseys, and we want Skip Bayless's face associated.
That's probably
with
why
us.
the Jordan brand is doing so well.
Yeah,
because Skip promotes it.
Oh yeah, that's all. Probably in his head, he's like, yeah, I've got 3 million followers or whatever, 3 million people that fucking hate me.
What if he just actually has like the most loyal like fans as far as merch sales goes, like out of any entertainer in the world?
He's gonna start selling like fake chains or whatever.
Yeah, Skip lubricant. Yeah.
Oh,
It's how you lubricate your. I can't even think of. It's how you lubricate your. Let's cut this off. Let's cut this. This is done.
This morning, the show in California comes on at 6:30 a.m. and I was watching part of it with Flynn and Jenny Taft.
Their show comes on at 6:30 a.m.
Yep, and it's like 8 hours long.
It's live.
Yeah.
The fuck? I didn't know that.
Because they have to get East Coast, that would be 9:30, which is, so they have to go somewhere in the middle.
I'd fucking film that like in the UK. I'd live over there.
Yeah. There's no need for it to be live at all.
Yeah.
It's this morning we were watching it for a minute. I usually just listen to the podcast. I can't fucking look at them or look at Skip. The others are fine. Jenny and Shannon, they're great. But Flynn never, really watches it. And Jenny Taft came on, or Jenny Taft was talking, and she was like, "They're not even paying attention to her." And I was like, "Yeah, no, she might as well not be there."
Yeah.
And they do just talk over her constantly. If she has something smart to say, she'll try to but I saw, and you could even, she'll rattle off a stat like say she's brought up the Aaron Rodgers, like Aaron Rodgers was 0-13 on third downs. You just hear them; they're still talking over, her, like she's like saying something important and relevant.
Skip's like, "I am a god."
It's so crazy, and so Skip starts. She asks a question, and then Skip starts talking, and she goes, "He's not even looking at her. He won't even address her." She's getting so mad, and then Shannon, when he starts, she's like, "Does Shannon do it?" And I go, I haven't really paid too much attention. And then Shannon does look at her, and she's like, "See, he seems like a normal human being." And she was like, "God, that guy's such a piece of shit." It was so funny. And then what made it even worse is Jenny Taft was wearing this sweater that made her, like, it had such a loud background. She's wearing a loud sweater. So she just blended in. It just looked like a head, but she almost just might as well not have been
they
there.
just key her out. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like a weather girl with a green dress on.
Exactly. But that's every day for her. And she's not getting paid near as much as those guys.
Yeah, they should dive into pay inequality within the sports commentating world.
Oh my God, I can't imagine. Poor woman. And hopefully she's getting good money. But Flynn was like, God, she must just hate that job because she'll bring up a question and then be quiet for 20 minutes. But she has to act like she
has to be like, right, I agree.
She has to be interested.
Say the filler words
to two people that aren't looking at her or addressing her. Like that's gotta be what. I wonder what she says when she goes home to her husband or boyfriend or whoever lover and is like, horse. I don't know. I heard she's no. I don't want to shit on her. She's great. She did nothing wrong. She puts up with the shit. She's a saint. She should be propped up.
Give her her own show, Fox.
Yeah. Come on.
Give her a podcast.
Let's start that whole.
Everyone has a podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. But I wonder what she says, to her significant other when she gets home. Like, I'm sure it can't be positive.
She's like, I just love my job now. I have to do very little, and I make $300,000 a year.
True.
I don't even have to prepare.
There is that. So I think I brought this up on the podcast, and I'm gonna bring Skip's wife's book back into the mix sometimes, but I haven't picked it up in a minute. But Skip did announce, and I brought this up, that his wife Ernestine is on Instagram, and he posted like a clip or something from her, promoting her book.
I thought you were gonna say she's on antidepressants or something.
That'll be her next book and her next whole mental health campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But So he pumps her up like, hey, here she is on IG. Give her a follow, pumping her up. And then I looked at his Instagram followers, or that he follows. It's a big 0. He does not follow her. She does follow him and Stephen A. Smith and like 10 other people. He does not follow his own
Does
wife.
he follow like Stephen A. and those other guys?
He doesn't follow anyone. Not one person on Twitter or Instagram.
He has 0
that
he's following.
Because he thinks he looks good that way.
Yeah,
cool.
I think Donald Trump has that too, right?
Probably. Oh, that would only make... Oh, God, that all makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That all checks out.
Or he follows like one person, it'll be like God or something, just for like political reasons.
Meanwhile, that whole book is just a big cry for help, and here he is not following. He's like, hey, you guys follow her, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to support my fucking wife, but...
He's like, I already run 2 Twitter accounts because we're the same person, so I'm not.
Yeah, that's what's crazy is he got burnt one time for having burner accounts.
Yeah.
Where he was like tweeting at himself.
Like Antonio Brown did.
Yes, he was like, hey, good job. I think you're doing great, Skip. He did that. You can
Skin's
find
looking great, really tight around the eyes.
all your opinions matter. You don't hate yourself. Like it was real. It got real weird.
Yeah.
And so he has time to do fake burner accounts, but he can't follow his own wife. That's insane.
And you know he's got to have an assistant or 2 out there, just like hey, follow my wife for me because I don't have time to get on my Instagram and do it myself.
All right, it's time for my favorite part, which is we start a new rumor about Skip Bayless every week. So here we go. Do you want me to kick it off, or do you want to?
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it,
guys. I heard that. You know, 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard that the reason that was made was those 2 women were propositioned with, would you rather, like, shit and eat it together and make this video...
And look like you enjoy it.
And your parents and family and exes and everyone is going to see this video. It's going to go very viral. It's going to be called 2 Girls, 1 Cup. It's all about you guys eating shit and enjoying it. Or would you like to... And that will be for no money. You will make $0 off of this. Or for $20 million, would you like to hang out with Skip Bayless for 5 minutes? And they're like, oh, they didn't have to think. They were just like, yeah, the shit thing. Let's eat the shit. Yeah. And that's why 2 Girls, 1 Cup was made. So I didn't know that. It was up on Wikipedia. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's
Isn't
real.
that funny just how that video went crazy? Like I showed that to my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember where I was.
Yeah.
I remember where I was, for historical events like 9/11 and stuff.
Yeah.
Remember that apartment in Austin, Texas? And I remember when the Challenger blew up in '86. I'm older than a lot of you listening.
All the big events.
I
remember
I was
at Ted's 2 came out.
Yeah, I knew what I was wearing. I was Ted. I was at De Leon for Challenger, and then when 2 Girls, 1 Cup, when I saw it for the first time, I was in Wichita doing the Looney Bin with my friend Matt Sadler and J.R. Brow. And we watched it, and it was something. Mm-hmm. I remember being nervous.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was when I saw it too.
Yeah,
I won't go into the details, but it was bad. I almost vomited.
Yeah,
and then I was like, I got to show this to my mom and film a reaction, which is weird because my mom's very conservative. Would never show any pornographic materials to my mom. We don't talk about anything like sexual in my life or anything. Yeah. But it was like this video, I was like, I have to show this to my mom and film her reaction. God. My mom, that really changed her opinion on modern culture. Wow. After that, she's just like, everyone's so horrible. You know?
She's like, this is my 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I'll never forget it, guys. And but you know what? I don't blame those women for doing it. If that were the options, I would do that. I would eat it with you, Mikey. I would just eat shit with you if I had to like hang out with Skip Bayless. Like, watch like little down the road. I'm gonna have to like Skip and I are gonna debate or something, and I'm gonna have to hang out with him. And just during the interview or whatever debate, I'm just like eating shit.
Yeah. That is gonna happen someday.
Bring it, old man.
Well, I heard that, Skip had a rough childhood, apparently.
Yeah.
And he apparently is always seeking out kind of a fatherly figure. That's because his father, in reality, was Mr. Rogers. And he hated him so much as a child, as an infant child, that he gave him away. So now he is reaching out to Tom Hanks to be his new father figure.
Oh, that's why he did that on the show?
Yeah.
Plug the movie?
He's trying as hard as he can to get in touch with Tom
deep.
Hanks. He wants another father figure in his life.
Wow, and he's the one child that Mr. Rogers gave up on.
That's right.
Because he was so shitty.
He just didn't want it to be anywhere close to him.
I hate it when you have, somebody that's an asshole, and people go, well, he had a rough childhood. It's always a guy, by the way.
Yeah.
I know some women that did and whatever, but it's always a guy. And
Always.
and then some people always stick up for him, and you're like, oh, come on, man. Like a lot of people did, and some of them turned out to be really nice.
Of shit.
Yeah. Like you're also you change in life, and you do have some control.
Unless you're Skip,
and that's Skip, yeah.
And you just let facts into your brain and you push them out like they don't exist.
Oh, guys. I will be in. Do you want to plug your YouTube channel?
Sorry, I just took a bite of a blow pop, guys. I film a YouTube channel with my buddy Enes Yilmazer. We tour mansions. Kind of odd thing to plug on here. We do mansion tours, but
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, if you want to check out some really nice houses, look up the YouTube channel Enes Yilmazer, ENES.
I want to do one where I'm just taking it. Oh, sorry. I was right in the middle.
YILMAZER.
Can you do that again?
Enes Yilmazer.
Yeah.
ENES YILMAZER. We tour some of the nicest mansions in LA and just kind of fuck around, have a good time.
It is crazy.
Yeah. Now, what do you want to do? I want to hear it.
Just one where you open a door and I'm just taking a massive dump.
Well, I get access to these $40-50 million houses.
Yeah.
I get to be there for an entire afternoon alone filming it. I met this videographer when I first got out here. He's like, a little insider tip: bring your own rolls of toilet paper because they do not put them in the houses by staging companies.
Oh wow!
So this guy, I haven't done it yet. This guy just goes in these big houses, just shits, saves all his shits for these incredibly nice toilets.
Oh, that's awesome!
And these 5,000 square foot master bathrooms.
I want to do that.
Yeah, let's get it done.
Sounds lovely. And guys, hey, you should go to my YouTube if you haven't watched. I got trash talk and all that stuff. Just find me, Doug Mellard, on social, all that. I also will be in Tacoma. I just picked this up.
Washington?
Yeah, not next week, the 5th through the 7th, I believe, with Dan Cummins again. So headed your way, Seattle, Tacoma area. In about 2 weeks, so can't wait for that. There's a bunch of new tour dates coming up soon. Gonna be a little bit all over the place in 2020. Can't wait. And I've teased it for feels like a year now that I got T-shirts in. But all I have to do is do a little photo shoot, and then the shirts will be up online at dougmiller.com. So look for that. And as always, rate, review, subscribe. Say what's up. Give feedback. Say hi. Say that was great or that sucked. Talk about this, and we'll do it. Thanks as always for listening, 69ers. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Mikey.